Well, hello, welcome to the high school camp parent meeting. My name is Kenny. I'm the student minister here, and
I'm Sarah McDowell. I'm also here on staff.
Sarah was saying before you guys were walking in, this is the calmest that our student room has ever been. We have like nice soft music. Like I don't have to worry about you guys, like doing whatever middle school or high school students would do. It's the calmest it's ever been, and so thank you for being here and making this room great.
Didn't have to yell at anyone for taking 4 donuts.
Yes.
So peaceful.
Good job. You guys are all passing. So we're really excited for high school camp. We're actually only 2 weeks away in a day, and so it's kind of unbelievable that it's this close, and we are super excited. Every year, God does so much at high school camp, and so we're really excited to see what God does in your students and in our ministry. It's the best week ever. We love it, and we're really excited for the new location this year. And so there's a lot of things to kind of get excited about. So we just want to welcome you guys. I know a lot of you guys, this may be your first event with us as a ministry or with the church, and so we just want to invite you to this. We've had high school camp for 3 years at a college campus. Before it used to be called Bible and Beach, and it's like the longest running event that we've had at Southeast Christian Church. Like it has a long history of just students coming to Christ, and it's a great event. So we're really excited that they're coming. The purpose of this meeting is just to give you guys as families all the details you need to have for high school camp so you can feel ready to send your student, and so they can be prepared for all the things that camp hold. We're going to have Q&A at the end, and so if you have questions like that, we'd love to answer them as you get them. Just hold them to the end. And so we're really excited. Again, POA forms, I hope we knocked a lot out, but we have 2 POAs here. If you haven't done that, 2 notaries, sorry. We have 2 notaries here, and that's a power of attorney form. So we need that from every student, and so make sure you get that before. And so first thing, location where we're going is University of Tennessee. We went to Bowling Green State last year, and we toured the University of Tennessee. I think our students are really excited, and they really should be. It's a major upgrade. There's like a huge pool that they have on campus, outdoor pool. That's something they didn't have in years past. Like large turf fields. Their cafeterias are like huge. I remember waiting in line a little bit too much last year. Like we're not going to have that problem this year, and so a lot of great things to be excited for. And all of our students are together. So like all the boys are in one dorm, and then all the girls for our campus are in one dorm too. And so a lot of things to get excited for when it comes to the campus. But want to let you know too, our goal is connecting people to Jesus and one another during and after camp. Like that's the goal of high school camp. And so if your student's like not involved with our high school ministry, I would just tell you like it's the greatest thing to be a part of, and that happens consistently. And so high school camp is really awesome. It's like my favorite 5 days of the year, but also like it's done best when it like continues after those 5 days, and your students a part of what's happening every week. And so we have high school ministry that meets here Sunday nights at 5 p.m. throughout the year. And then our summer schedule, you might have saw back there on a table, but there's a lot of different things we do over the summer. Would love for your student to be involved with that. And if they go to high school camp, like they're going to be set up well to continue walking with us as a ministry, because they're going to know a ton of people and be connected to us. And so that's our goal, is connecting your student to Jesus and one another during camp, but also after camp. Next one.
Yeah, we also have the most students that we've ever had going this year, both as a campus and as Southeast as a whole. I think last year you had 90 something students, and we have 131 students and 28 leaders going this year. And then as Southeast, we have over 2,000, over 2,100 total students and leaders going. So it's the biggest high school camp / Bible Beach in Southeast history. So we're so excited about it. And like Kenny was saying, University of Tennessee is an awesome location, and there's room for everyone. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah.
But okay, getting into some of the details. So check-in for camp June 17th. We need you guys to be here at 10:30. We'll start the check-in process. Basically how that will go, you guys will have this QR code that I think that's new this year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
this is
that'll
new.
make check-in a lot faster. You'll have this QR code already. You'll scan it.
That's,
just
the
check in
QR
your
code
bag.
gets like texted to you.
Mhm.
It's incredible.
Yeah, super, super efficient. So you'll have that, then we'll have these wristbands printed out for you already. Your student will wear one, we'll put one on their luggage. We'll put the luggage straight in their bus, so it'll go right to their dorm with them. And I think we recommend for luggage, one suitcase, one carry-on item. So like a backpack or something they can take on the bus, and it's helpful to have a backpack during the week. We'll get to packing list later, I'm getting ahead, but just helpful for them to have to carry their stuff around. Yeah, and then medicine check-in. We'll probably send out an email here soon with the procedure of how to do medicine, but I think it's in your handout, like the website that you can go to. I might be getting ahead of myself again. That's okay. I'll talk about it now. But basically, you'll check in your medicine ahead of time, and then when you bring it to check in, you need to bring how much your student needs for that week in the original bottle in a Ziploc bag. We don't let students keep medicine with them in the dorm just for safety reasons, so they'll turn all that in. We have medical stations all over campus, and they'll have, if they take medicine like at night or in the morning, like they can go there and get their medicine. We have tons of over-the-counter stuff, so no need to pack like Tylenol or anything like that. But if they bring it, they'll have to turn it in. Like they can't keep that with them in their dorm just for safety reasons. So that'll all be part of the check-in process. Then they'll get in their small group, they'll get to know their group, their leaders. We'll have lunch provided for them before they leave, so we'll eat that either as we're leaving or on the bus if they want to. Yeah, and we'll look at the allergies and have options for everyone available.
And
for
Sarah,
lunch.
what is lunch as we depart to camp?
Okay, I want to make sure.
Yeah.
We're having Chick-fil-A, so yeah, we'll probably have sandwiches for that, but then we'll look at some.
If for some reason your student is not a believer yet and they don't love Chick-fil-A, give them food beforehand, or talk to us or reach out.
Yeah.
And we'll pray for them.
We'll pray for their salvation. Yeah.
Awesome. Next thing, packing list. Clothing for 5 days. And I would just say, think about that. And I would say too, pack with your student. Because so many of our students are like, I only need 2 pairs of shorts. And then they get to camp and they smell horrible. Pack with them, help them out. They will need that. And so clothing for 5 days. And I would say at least for boys, probably for girls too, you're probably changing during the day at least once because of free time or whatever, getting sweaty, whatever that looks like. Modest bathing suit, we'll talk more about that a little bit later. Shower and pool towels, so just a helpful thing, one for the shower, one for the pool. Toiletries, Bible and a pen and a notebook. And we encourage, again, backpacks are really important because you don't want your student carrying around like a Bible, their phone, their notebook, their pen, all the things they might want to bring with them. If they have a backpack, it's really helpful and they can just carry all the things with them. Backpack. Optional late night attire, we'll get there later too. There's some late night themes. We'll explain those a little bit later. Reusable water bottle. If they don't have a water bottle, it's just hard to find water. And if they have a water bottle with them, the rest of camp, they will not get dehydrated. For boys, they will need twin sheets. For girls, they will need double sheets, which is the same for full, right? That means the same thing.
Yeah.
I just learned that. If you have a girl student, they will need sheets for a full size bed, and then a pillow or and a blanket. And then what does CC stand for?
Credit card.
Credit card. That makes total sense. Credit card or Apple Pay for merchandise, and cash for $1 Snack Shack. I would tell you though, this happens. Don't give your student $300 and expect them to come back with it, because they lose things all the times. It happens, and so I would just be careful about how much you're giving them. There's like a merchandise thing where they can buy T-shirts. And that might be $20, $25, something like that. In that range, plus a little bit for the Snack Shack, is totally reasonable. And I would apply that to also other things like speakers. Like I love speakers. Speakers are fun. Your student may lose your speaker. And so just be careful about stuff like that. AirPods too. I know a lot of students love their AirPods for their bus or whatever. I would just be careful because I think they're gonna lose that stuff, and that does happen every year.
Yeah, I'd say too, they don't need extra money. Like all of the late night parties, like we'll have snacks provided. There's plenty of food at the dining hall, so it's not like, oh, they need all this extra money or they're gonna starve. Like they will be well taken care of. Yeah, we'll have the snack shack in the afternoon and the evening, everything's $1. So that's just like a fun, if they want a snack, or again, like the t-shirts and sweatshirts, like above and beyond. But if you don't want to send them the money, like they will be just fine without anything. It's just for extra stuff if they want it.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a dress code at a camp, and we just want to talk over that. I'll talk a little about boys, talk a little about the girls. Boys need to have shirts on all the time during camp, other than when they're on the pool deck. Also, another thing for boys is those t-shirts that they're cut like all the way like this. We ask for your students not to wear those, just a normal t-shirt that's not sleeveless or has like that huge, I don't know what you call that, armhole. And so make sure they don't have anything like that. Is that the right arm? I don't know. Swimsuits for boys, 5 inches minimum length, and no Speedos, anything like that. Hopefully they wouldn't do that, but they're trying to be funny. Again, pack with them, help them there for forgetting things, and also being silly or anything like that.
Yeah, and like Kenny was saying, we hold both guys and girls accountable for dress code. So just want you guys to be aware of that. And there's more details on the parent handout, like specifics of that. But general rule, collarbone to like thigh, just keep it covered. Save me the awkward conversation. Like watch what your kids are packing. Definitely, if they can wear it to school, like it's good for them to wear to camp. Basically, is a general rule. But we just want everything to remain covered, just so there's no distractions or no awkward conversations. Because me or a leader will address them if they're wearing something that's just not appropriate for them to wear to church camp. And then swimsuits, need to be a 1-piece or a fully covered 2-piece, which I feel like is easier now. When I went to camp, I could never find a 1-piece that wasn't a grandma suit. So I feel like there's so many cute 1-pieces now. So just definitely want to err on the side of just keeping everyone safe and modest. But if you have any more questions about that, you can talk to me.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh yeah, the medical information, I got ahead of myself and talked about this already, but we have a full team. We take our own medical team to camp, so we have fully trained nurses, EMTs that are there 24 hours a day, ready to help if anything is needed. They respond to first aid incidents. Again, it's where they go to get their medicine every day, so they're just ready to care for your student, whether they regularly need medical help or if something happens. Hopefully nothing major, but for the minor injuries. Like I said, students can't keep medicine with them. If they have like an EpiPen or like a rescue inhaler, we want them to keep that on them. We usually ask for them to bring 2 so the medical team can have one and then they can have one on them, just so everything's covered and as safe as it can be. And again, over-the-counter medicine. Even if they take it regularly, you can log that in the medical website. I forget what it's called. You can log that, but you don't need to pack Tylenol or anything. Like we'll have so much of that, and they can go get it whenever they need it. We do have food allergies in the dining hall. There's an extra line just to cover food allergies. So anything your student needs, they'll be well taken care of. So they're very very cautious of that. And new this year, all of the dorm rooms have mini fridges. So if it's like an extreme, like you need to pack food or snacks or something for your student, they'll have a mini fridge that they'll be able to use. So that's new this year. Exciting that they can keep snacks in their room or extra food if they need it.
And that website is southeastchristian.org/myevents, which is also just a helpful website for all sorts of things.
Yeah.
I think like if you still have to pay your balance, that's also the website to do that at.
Yeah, and then for any sort of like walking or mobility issues, or just for everyone, we'll have charter buses this year, almost like a whole bus shuttle system. So we'll be taking buses to the building for the sessions because it's too far to walk. We're not going to walk through downtown Knoxville also. So we'll be taking buses, and then a lot of the dorms, I think the girls' dorm we're in, will be busing too every time because it's a little further away. So there's still a lot of walking, but we'll try to minimize that. And then if there's any sort of like anyone on crutches or some actual medical need, let us know. But we'll have like vans and charter, like they don't need to walk, like if they can't, like we don't want that to be a barrier for them going to camp.
Yeah. Next, at camp, here's kind of just a normal day at camp. We'll wake up, we'll have breakfast, there's a morning session, and again, a session, involves like awesome worship. It's every Southeast campus in this auditorium, an incredible speaker, funny games, all that type of stuff. There's gonna be small group time, and then lunch, afternoon activities. During afternoon activities, there's all sorts of like elective classes that they can do, from like, I remember somewhere like, how can I bring my friends to Christ, to how to deal with mental health issues. So there's different options like that that they're going to be told about at camp. There's sports tournaments going on. Oh, there's so many. Basketball, pickleball, spike ball, soccer, volleyball, dodgeball. I'm probably leaving another one out. But that's all happening during the afternoon activities, which I think is like 4 hours long. I mean, it's a hefty part of the day. That's where they can go to the pool and do all sorts of things around campus. Then we'll have.
There's an indoor and an outdoor pool this year too. I don't think you mentioned that. So
yes.
that's new this year and really exciting.
Yes.
So if you're like me and get sunburned, you don't have to be in the sun.
And going back to packing list, pack sunscreen. Please pack sunscreen. There's always, and tell your student to wear it too. There's always a student that's like, I don't need sunscreen. And they do, of course. And so just help them pack that and tell them to wear it. Night session, and then campus time, which is one of my favorite times of camp. It's where we have just the Crestwood campus students together in the same room, and we share stories from the week. We do fun games. We encourage them in all sorts of ways. And so campus time, and then late night parties, which we'll get to in a second, and then curfew. So they'll go back to dorms and they'll have curfew, which I think is 11?
I think it's midnight.
Midnight, okay, awesome. Yes, late night parties.
Yeah, so late night parties are just something that happen every night. It's just kind of the last hurrah of the day, get the last energy out before heading to bed. So these are the themes this year. The first night is called Color Me Rad, so it's like an 80s night, and then everyone's supposed to dress in their campus colors, so ours is blue.
Which is one of the best colors to have.
I know, for 80s
Easy.
too? Yeah, I think it's great. Bring out all the denim, I don't know.
Go Crestwood.
Go Crestwood. Yeah, so that'll be an 80s night, and then the second night's called Once Upon a Camp. It's kind of like a storybook, like fairy tale characters, however they want to interpret that, whatever they want to do with that. You can do a lot of fun stuff with it. The third night's not up there. It's a movie night. It's a more chill night to allow more time in campus time, because it's the kind of let's get to the meat of stuff session. So the late night party isn't as big, and then the last night we'll have a Paris Olympics theme. So we have this thing called Hour of Champions. It's usually the last morning, but we're doing it at night this year. It's kind of like the champions from some of the tournaments all week get to play the final round in this big kind of stadium feel.
Which also includes American Ninja Warrior course. Like we have like a contract with American Ninja Warrior, and they're bringing like an actual like certified American Ninja Warrior course to the camp, and we're gonna do that night.
Yes, which will be fun. Which if your student wants to do, they do need an extra waiver. We haven't gotten that yet, but we'll send it out as soon.
Yes.
Because you'll have to
Via
fill that
email,
out.
yes.
Yes.
And they can fill that out at camp too. If they like get them like, I want to do this, but they haven't filled it out, we'll have a link that they can send you so you can fill it out so that they can do it at camp.
Yes. So that'll be super fun. So the late night parties, again, just hang out, and we'll usually have a food item of some kind, and it's just a good okay, we made it through the day, one more thing, and then head to bed.
Yeah. And I forgot to say this too during the kind of typical schedule, is that at sessions, we sit with our campus, sit with our small group, and they're going to be it's a really small group centric. So especially if your student is new or they don't know many people, they're always kind of with their small group, and we have leaders that are paying attention to them. And we'll get to that a little bit later. But just so you know, they're always with their campus and small group. And so it really helps. They just get connected, again, so they can stay connected to our ministry. Pickup details, June 21st, we're going to be arriving to the Crestwood campus here, somewhere between, we hope, 11:30 p.m. To midnight, and assume pickup will take about 30 minutes for us to leave. We'll be sending out text for this, and so if you can text HSM, all capital letters, to 733-733, you can be getting all the camp updates. So we'll be sending some things during the week, telling you how your students, how it's going. But then when we leave the University of Tennessee, I'll send out a text saying, hey, we just left University of Tennessee. We think we're going to be, arriving at the Crestwood campus at 11:45, right, something like that. And so you can text HSM 733-733. And basically, there's no they don't have to check out when they leave, when we have pickup. They can just grab their luggage, find you, and then go. Safety and security?
Yeah, so we take a lot of precautions to make sure your kids are safe at camp. We take our medical team and our own security team. So a lot of Southeast security goes with us, and just make sure everyone is safe and where they need to be, or not where they don't need to be, as students like to do. So we have a 5-to-1 leader-student ratio as Southeast as a whole. So for every 5 kids that are there, there's 1 adult. So there's a lot of eyes on them. Every small group has more than 1 leader, and that's a rule that we go by too, is no adult is ever alone with a student, just again for safety and accountability, just so, yeah, they're always around. Every leader goes through a thing called Ministry Safe, which includes a background check and this whole training that they go through just to know how to protect your kids really well. So it's a really good training. Yeah.
And all of our leaders are people that we know and trust from our church. They're not just random people. They're plugged in here. A lot of them are volunteers with us on a consistent basis with our ministry. But if not, they're trusted families that we have a relationship with.
Yeah, and so every night after the late night party is curfew. So everyone goes straight back to the dorm, and they're not allowed to leave after that. And we'll have security around just to make sure that nothing happens. We have some no tolerance rules, which I'm just gonna read so I don't mess them up. But basically, these are the rules that we'll tell them the first night, and we'll be like, hey, if you break this, you have to leave, and we can't do anything about that because we take it very seriously, which affects you because then you have to come pick up your kids. So definitely reinforce with your kids to not break them. So the no tolerance rules are leaving your dorm after midnight, entering the dorm building of the opposite gender at any time, leaving the boundary area of high school camp. So UT is huge. We're kind of in a smaller portion of it. Everything will be around each other. So those will be clear boundaries of where you can and can't go. But we'll be taking that pretty seriously. And then consuming or having in possession drugs, alcohol, or tobacco, including vape pipes or CBD. So again, like Kenny said, if you pack your bag with your student, make sure they don't have these things. Because we don't want to send a kid home because we find a vape in their bag or anything like that. And that's something night one we'll say, hey, if you brought this, you have until midnight to confess, basically, you can stay, but after that, we have no choice, we have to send you home.
And we have a safety security team that goes to camp, and they have 30, 40 volunteers that are around. So they're checking things like boundaries of our area and making sure that your students are safe. So not only do we have their small group leaders that are specifically focused on your Crestwood students, we also have that team at large, which is a big deal. And then leaders are spread out and identified through each dorm hallway. And leaders don't stay in rooms with students. Students are in there, they have a roommate, or with girls, sometimes it's 4 in a room because of how the dorms are set up. But it's just students in the room, and the leaders are just in, they have a leader roommate, but on the same hallway. So if they need anything, they can quickly find their leaders.
And how our dorms are laid out this year. I forget for boys, but for girls, each room has a bathroom in it. So if you have a couple roommates or whoever you're with, you'll have your own bathroom, which is nice. So leaders and students have separate bathrooms this year too.
Yeah.
I forget, do boys have? It might be a traditional.
I think traditional.
Yeah.
But they love those.
Yeah.
Next slide, Camp Connection. great ways to just make sure that you're seeing what Southeast is doing, what the Crestwood campus is doing. You can follow Crestwood.students on Instagram, and so we'll be posting all sorts of things on there about how camp is going, different pictures, videos, things like that. You can also follow Southeast Christian, like they'll post a lot of things from camp too. And so just go to Instagram if you have that, Crestwood.students. And then Facebook, you can follow HSM parents, probably a little bit less on there during camp, but we'll give some updates. And then again, text HSM to 733. Also, if you want to pray for camp, this is for middle school and high school camp for the Crestwood campus. You can text pray for camp to 733. And our church will send out updates to you saying, hey, this, we started a high school camp, can you pray for this? Or the Crestwood campus is leaving for middle school camp, could you pray for this today? And so that's something that would encourage you and strengthen your faith. Would love for you to do that as well. And again, high school camp is all about connection. We want to connect your student to Jesus and one another. And we do that through small groups. That's kind of the core part of camp, where they get to connect with other people, talk about what life is like, talk about what they're learning this week about Jesus. And so text an HSM to 733 really helps you be connected to our ministry even after camp as well, which is really awesome.
Yeah, so some key dates to remember after camp, because like Kenny said, we don't want your student to be involved for 5 days. We want them, for the rest of their high school experience, if that's beneficial to them. So we're having a celebration, the baptism service. Oh wait, sorry.
Hey, go to the last slide.
Yeah,
Go
we'll
to
come back
that
to
last one.
this.
Is there another one?
Keep going.
Never mind, let's do that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll have a celebration and baptism service. It'll be the Sunday after we get back. Was that the 23rd?
Yeah, 23rd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There
at
we
the
go.
5 o'clock service, it'll be regular church, but then we're not doing baptisms at camp like has happened in the years past. I think the last couple of years we haven't, but we'll have anyone that wants to get baptized during that service just so we can celebrate them.
And I know that so much more of the baptisms that happen at camp with our students happen at church. We get to celebrate with our church, and it's kind of a moment away from camp, and so it's the best.
Yeah, that's gonna be really special. And then new this year, we're having an Oldham County Worship Night that next Wednesday, so the 26th, I believe.
Yes.
So 6 to 8. So we're combining with LaGrange students and Prospect students. So we're just gonna have a giant worship night right after high school camp. It's middle school and high school. We're gonna have food, we're gonna have games, and just wanna just lean into just the momentum that's at camp, and let students know that that can happen back here too, and they can, reunion with their friends that they haven't seen for 3 days. So that'll be fun. And then our summer schedule. There's a handout in the back if you haven't gotten one of these already. If you want one, this is just what is going on at HSM this summer. So we won't be, our regular HSM, like Kenny said, is 5 o'clock on Sunday nights. We won't have that until August, but starting directly after high school camp, we're going to do high school home groups on Sunday nights. So we'll have guys at one house, girls at one house. The addresses are on the card.
And the houses are awesome. I
Yeah.
think we found the best 2 houses at the
Oh,
Crestwood
yeah.
campus. I'm talking at the boys' house, there's a huge pool and a basketball court and some pickleball, and people are really gracious offer their house up.
Yeah.
And then the girls' house is awesome too, a pool with a lot of open field space, a little farm even.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So a great way to connect your student right after camp.
Yeah, so we're super excited about that, and that'll be every Sunday for the remainder of the summer. And then we'll have that worship night, like I said, and then there's a bonfire for middle school and high schoolers in July also, just another connection point. And then in August, this will be the week before we launch for fall groups, but student takeover weekend, we'll actually encourage all of our middle school and high school students to serve throughout the church. So everywhere you look, there will just be a student.
At every adult service, so
Yes.
9:30, 11:15, and 5.
Yes, which is just a way to encourage them that, they're a part of the church. They're not just confined to this room. We want them to be a part of the bigger body of the church, and for the church to know that our students want to be here too. So super excited about that.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
And then we'll be back August 18th for
Yes.
HSM,
Yes.
regular in this room.
again, high school camp is the absolutely best week. I cry every year. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, there's at least 1 or 2 moments I just cry at high school camp because like God just does so much in our students and your students. And so, one, I would definitely just encourage you be praying for your student, but also like our students at large, because God is, I believe, going to be doing so much. But the more that we can pray for that to happen, the more I believe that will happen. And so we're really excited. I think this is going to be an awesome year. Again, we're taking a lot of students, and we're really excited about it. University of Tennessee is awesome, and this is the biggest high school camp or Bible Beach that we've ever had. And so just really excited to see what God's going to do. So next, we just want to offer time for questions, Q&A, anything that you have. If it's something like specific to your student that you just want to talk with us afterward, we'll totally do that too. But what questions do you have? Yes?
On the sheets, are they XL or regularly? You know.
So, what do you mean?
The sheets, are they extra long, twin XL, double XL?
Oh, the sheets.
Good question. Do you know that,
Last
Katie?
year they were XL or two to the dormant.
Probably just regular twin, but you can err on the bigger side.
There's
so
different
cut-
sizes
tuck
of
them
twins
in.
beds.
Yeah.
For dorms or usually.
Yeah.
I have a kid, I have a girl one for like a bigger, and they said XL. And even in girls said twin XL in girls'
Okay.
They're in a different dorm than we are, the girls from
Yeah,
Money Baker,
that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I would assume twin XL, but I'll make sure to include that in the email. I'm gonna make note of that right now. Yeah, I'm gonna include that in the email because I do want to make sure that you know this distinction.
You can always err on the bigger side,
Yeah.
you know. But great question.
Yeah, so check your emails for that, especially girl moms, and we'll make sure to include that. But I would err toward twin XL.
Or boys, because girls will have full beds.
Sorry, yeah, boys. That's fine.
So are there two girls in a bed? If it's a full size bed?
Yes, yes. At least for a lot of them, they'll be sharing a bed.
So the 4 girls for full number.
Yes.
So the girls will be sharing the bed?
Yes.
When will we find out for sure, like, when the summer?
We find that out at camp. So we try to do that so they can, they can meet the person there. But yeah, we'll find that out like at departure.
But on the registration, there should have been an option you could put who they want a room with, and
Yeah.
that's taken into account. So then
We-
they won't be strangers
yeah.
with strangers. Like we take that into account.
And it's almost always with the person that they put. Sometimes it's like, 3 people put, it kind of gets funky. But they're at least in the same room with that person, or they're with their second
Or
option.
worst case scenario, they're next door and
Yeah.
get to hang out the whole time other than when they sleep. But most of the time you're with who you put on the.
And we tell
registration.
students too, I mean, you can hang out like in your, get ready for bed obviously when it's time. But you can hang out in your room till, it's time to go to bed with your student. And a lot of times it's like, a friend group of 10 people or a small group of 10 people will want to do that.
What about wake up time? Curfew's at midnight, what about? It doesn't matter?
I think it's like 7 a.m.
Yeah, because breakfast is, I don't remember the exact time. Do you have the schedule? Yeah, breakfast will be at a certain time, and usually breakfast is a more optional meal because some kids just would rather sleep. So then the set time they have to be up by is the session, and whenever they have to bust to the session, Kenny can look up the exact time, but breakfast is usually like 8-ish. I don't remember.
I can't find it in my documents. But we tell them you need to be up by then. I'll know it by then. Hey, you need to be up by then. And we have all of our leaders check. So let's say they need to be at breakfast by 7:30. Leaders are going to be knocking on doors. Leaders are going to be like, wait, where's Joey? They're going to be doing all that stuff. And that's why I really love the 5-to-1 ratio. Because they can actually be able to do that with all their students because they're not overwhelmed by 20 students in one group to themselves. So yeah. Anything else?
Does bedding have to be in the bag or can we have a separate bag for bedding?
Like when you,
Like beer lunch?
yeah, you can use separate bags.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like carry-on,
Yeah.
piece of luggage and bag of bedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not super strict, you have 2 bags you can't cut. Just not 2 large suitcases, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, if there's an extra bag, that's fine.
Don't pack for 4 weeks,
Yeah.
but Yeah, I mean, that's totally fine.
Repeat the questions, 'cause I didn't hear that.
Oh, okay. There was a lot.
The last question was, could you bring an extra bag for bedding, or does it have to be in the suitcase? So again, we're not gonna be super strict about it, just don't want so much luggage.
And then wake up time, she was asking what wake up time is, which we think is about 7. And then, is that all of them? The sheets? We were talking about sheets. Okay, I think that was it. Yes?
Is there a cell phone?
Thank you for saying that. I'm surprised I didn't touch on that. So they are allowed to have their cell phone, but I am really strict on if it's a distraction, then we're gonna, and I teach my leaders on this. If there's gonna be like a one, like, hey, you have your phone out a lot, can you put that away? And then the second time, we're gonna take that phone. Because like we just don't want it to be a distraction where they're sitting at lunch and they're like, they can't even have a conversation because they're on their phone. I do recommend them having their phones though, like don't keep it at home because again, there's 2,000 students going and I want them to be able to find their small group. And a lot of times our small groups will create a group text message and be like, hey, I'm at the, this table on the 3rd floor of the dining hall. So I think it's helpful to have a phone. But like, if there's something I'm strict on, it's probably phones because I'm like, it cannot be a distraction. If I see it during session, I will absolutely take it. And like, they won't have it for the rest of the week. And I tell them that too, like they're not gonna be surprised by that. I'm just like, hey, if a phone's a distraction and they're out during especially session time or especially small group time, like we're just gonna take it and it's gonna be gone.
A lot of leaders for small group time, like everyone puts their phone in the middle or something, like you
Yes.
don't want it to be a distraction or.
Yeah. And that's why I encourage you to make them like take a physical Bible because we're gonna like ask them to have a physical Bible, like it'll help them, do that. But that way they're not like, I'm gonna be on my Bible app on my phone. I don't even trust myself. Like if I was doing a Bible study and I had my Bible on my phone, to like I get a text message and to not even think about it or open it up. And so that's why it's just really helpful to make sure they have a physical Bible.
Can you have the cell phones in the room at night?
Yes, they do. Yeah, and again, for alarms and things like that.
Do they need like a waterproof bag for the pool area or towel for that or now's
She asked you need a waterproof bag or towel.
Towels aren't provided, so they'll need
Yeah.
to bring a towel. Yeah, if they want to bring a separate bag
Yeah.
for free time to carry their stuff in, because they're not allowed in the dorms during free time. Like they get to go at the beginning to change, get ready, and they can go at the end to shower and get ready for the evening. So
Yeah.
definitely some sort of bag to just have for the afternoon to, have a different shirt or.
Yeah, I might use my backpack.
Yeah.
And I think that would be fine.
It's up to them. Yeah.
Because if his swim trunks are wet or something like that, like he would just, I would probably just keep them on and then go back to my dorm and change. Yeah, so that's fine. I mean, I think that's awesome. Yes.
girls wear a colored t-shirt or something
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can do that too. And I think a decent amount of them do. Did everyone hear that question? She asked if you,
If girls can wear a t-shirt over a two-piece instead of having like a one-piece, I think that's appropriate.
yeah, a colored one, yeah. Anything else? I'm not buying it really, but.
You had, for merchandise, you said credit card or Apple Pay, do they take cash too, or just the?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure they do.
I don't remember.
I'm gonna check on here, but I think so.
I know they used to. I can't remember if they changed it the past year or two.
Oh, you might be right. It says, go back to the packing list, Chloe. it says at the very bottom, credit card, CC, which stands for credit card, as I learned, or Apple Pay for merchandise and cash for $1 snack shack. That makes me now feel like you have to have a credit card or Apple Pay for merchandise.
I was thinking they switched to cashless a couple years ago, but
Okay.
I'm not.
So, yeah, I
I'm
would
not sure
err
about
toward that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then one more question.
If I have a kid who doesn't know how to swim, do I need to send a life preserver or will they have that for him?
I don't think we would have them if you want to send something.
I can ask that question and get
Yeah.
back to you if you give me your information. Yeah.
And we'll
But-
have lifeguards and a shallow into the pool.
Yes.
All the things, but yeah, I don't know if we'll provide like floaties or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they have, but give me your information, and I'll ask and get back to you. But and there's a lot of options during free time too. Yeah.
Is merchandise camp merchandise or is it sea merchandise?
It's camp merchandise. So we have a organization called CIY that puts on this event and all sorts of events like this throughout our country over the summer. And so, like our theme is rest, and like they have cool designs and themes on T-shirts and hoodies, things like that.
And every student will get a T-shirt. I forgot to say this when they get here for check-in. So they'll have like a Southeast High School Camp T-shirt. Every single student leader will get one. It's just for additional if you want one that says like the rest of your life or something,
Yeah.
something like that. That is where I went from last year.
Nice. Awesome. Anything else? Okay. Awesome. Well, if you want to talk just with us afterward, answer any questions specific about your student, would love to chat. We have, again, 2 notaries in the back. They can do POA forms. And if you don't mind, we're about to have middle school ministry in here. If you could help me stack these chairs in stacks of 5, and we'll do the rest. If you can just get them in stacks of 5, if you have like a couple minutes, that'd be awesome. I'm gonna pray for us real fast, if you don't mind, sorry, I was moving. I'm gonna pray for us real quick, and then let's do those few things. Lord, thank you so much for this event called High School Camp. We're going to see you glorified, and we're going to see all sorts of students come to faith in you, maybe for the first time, or just have a resurgence in their faith. And so, Lord, I just pray that you would do what you do every single year, as you just kind of blow us away by how you move in students and call people to a relationship with you. And so, Lord, we pray for all the distractions, safety, all sorts of things that can get in the way of that. But Lord, we pray for that students would just have a great week at camp and then stay connected to our ministry as they follow you with their life. Just say pray. Amen. Thank you, guys.